key sustainability and governance issue can affect the performance of an asset, right? So whether it's supply chain disruptions, whether it's regulatory changes, transition risk, or reputational, impact, and so you can't just be neutral about responsible investing when you have a fiduciary obligation. I think being neutral is risky, right? And it's not in line with prudent risk management that is required to deliver your fiduciary obligations. And I think so definitely for, whether it's pension funds, whether it's sovereign wealth funds or investors that do have that fiduciary obligation, it's imperative to integrate responsible investing to be able to deliver on those obligations for not just your current stakeholders, but your future stakeholders as well.
Fascinating, really interesting, that perspective of the sovereign wealth. And how do sustainability and governance factors influence valuation and portfolio resilience, especially amid technological regulation and societal shifts?
So definitely, when you see companies or organizations that have robust and strong governance systems, transparent reporting, and proactive sustainability strategies, you would see that they are consistently better positioned to navigate, technological shifts, changes in policies, changes in stakeholder expectations, which keeps evolving, and this in turn enhances the resilience of a portfolio because you see stronger margins due to enhanced efficiency. You see fewer shocks from regulatory changes, and you see that the organization is better positioned in line with changes in any global factors, supply chain changes, and all of that.
Yeah, interesting. Has the focus for the case for responsible investment ever really gone away?
I don't think it has gone away. I think obviously, just as with any other aspect of a business or factors that affect returns of a portfolio, it changes with alongside the political environment. Geopolitics of all of it affects it as well. But I think when you look at the fundamental of responsible investing, I think those factors remain the same and they remain quite relevant. So I think the shift is more around the investment case or the business case for responsible investing, whereby now the focus is on how responsible investing can support value creation and how investors and players within the ecosystem can adopt these strategies and integrate these strategies to deliver long-term sustained value to their stakeholders.
Excellent. Nano, you were on the panel around infrastructure in Africa.
Yeah.
What was it that you raised on the panel? What was your angle on that topic?
Yeah. I think three key things I would summarize them as. First of all, I touched on our approach as the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, our approach to integrating, sustainability and responsible investments within our portfolio, particularly our infrastructure portfolio, but also shed light on key risk mitigation strategies and how, you have the real risk and the perceived risk and how we navigate around all of that to not just invest our capital, but mobilize additional capital from other investors into the projects that we drive. And thirdly, I touched on the importance of partnerships, whether it's with other sovereign wealth funds or with DFIs, MDBs, or philanthropic organizations, and how we could leverage those partnerships to develop innovative financing models and invest in more things or more instruments or more projects than we typically would have been able to invest in. So leveraging strategic partnerships to drive investments.
Excellent. And of the other panelists that you were with, any highlights, anything surprising that came up from the panel?
Yes, I think one key thing that surprised me was actually the work that EPPF is doing, because typically a lot of wealth, in the case of Nigeria, right, the pension funds are not necessarily so active, within the space. They typically invest in, less risky instruments, so your T-bills and your corporate bonds, and also to learn of all the amazing things that EPPF is doing, and how they have integrated sustainability into the management of their portfolio, and how they've set targets to net zero, not just in direct investments but through listed equities and all of that. I found that quite fascinating, actually.
Oh, great, brilliant. And for you, what needs to happen now to really move the needle on the topic you were talking about?
Um, I think it's already happening. I think we just need to scale up. I think we need to put in, particularly institutional investors,
Yeah.
right? Need to be more willing to put in equity, to be anchor investors in transformative projects, because truly showing skin in the game is going to unlock additional capital, because to scale and to replicate projects. So I'm hoping to see more institutional investors take that position. I'm hoping to see more strategic partnerships that I mentioned, because I think no single financial institution can address Africa's infrastructural gap. And so we need to leverage those partnerships to put together our joint experience, bring together our capital, consolidate our pipelines, and drive transformative growth across the continent.
And there's so much opportunity there, right?
Absolutely.
The breadth of opportunity
Yep.
is huge for investors all around the world
Yes.
to invest.
Absolutely, yes.
Great, excellent. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely, thank you.